All right, now let's talk entertainment. Studies have shown that Nigerian indigenous languages are endangered. Now, there are projections that if nothing is done urgently, they could go into extinction in the no distant future.
Yeah, and but as foggy as the future seems, Nigerian artists are using rap to fight off the extinction threat and uniting the country. Nicholas Adibe looks at this genre of music and how Nigerian artists are adapting urban American street expressions to Nigerian indigenous languages.
Rap first gained attention in the United States in the early 70s among African Americans who used it as a means of emancipation. Much later, Nigerian artists started to interpret the art into our own contemporary indigenous hip-hop genre, and it's quickly gained ground among the youth who loved every bit of the words the artists were spilling.
Our leaders now property.
Before it even became cool to rap with indigenous languages, stars like Nigero, now Mr. Raw, started adapting the urban American street expression to his indigenous language. Other young talents who showed interest in this form of musical expression brought swag to the rap scene with their delivery. Using their native languages, our musicians have mastered the art of stringing both indigenous and English languages to stimulate lyrical excitement in the minds of their listeners. This is reducing the Western influence on our songs and promoting our unique local flavor. Rap acts like the late Da Green, Olamide, Philo, Reminisce, Ilbliss, Lord of Ajasa, and many others have all gained acceptance and have broken the language barrier in different parts of the country through their lyrics and dancehall beats, holding music lovers spellbound. Indigenous rap is now the new cool on the Nigerian music scene. Neko Zadibing, TVC News.
Where are you dancing?
Don't make me put on my dancing shoe right now.
The party officially has started right
here.
Oh
my God.
On TVC
You
Breakfast.
didn't declare that.
I just did. Well, with us in the studio is a Nigerian-based songwriter, recording artist, and performer, Pepe Nazi.
Hi, good morning.
Pepe Nazi, nice to see you.
What language would you be rapping in? So I can just start. We hit it off right away. But anyway, let me spare you that. The Green was the very first to use indigenous language in rap, and it's caught on like wildfire.
True.
Talk to us about this evolution.
I would say first, the indigenous music, the basics are, it deals with your lifestyle, the region, the culture, and also the language. And if you look at the likes of Da Green, the only way he could express himself was the Yoruba language. And if you look at the transition of music from the days of the Junior and Pretty to what we have right now, we have Olamide, we have Fino, who has broken the norm with the indigenous music, I would say. And the influences we have right now is still the whole tunes we listen to, the folk tales. Then I would say when we listen to the likes of Ebenezer Obey, the likes of King Sunny Ade, the only way they could, pass that message across to the layman was through indigenous music. And I think that was what got them a record deal. I think Sunny Ade had a deal with Sonny one time, and the same as Ebenezer Obey had a record deal with Island Records. So Wizkid as well is someone we can use as an example. Joe Legba was the biggest one he had at a point in time, and if you look at the lyrical content, it was indigenous language. So yeah, it is quite relevant.
It is.
At this point in time.
All right, music is universal, where you listen to a song. Like those days, we used to listen to Mira Makeba, we used to Angelina Kijo. Sometimes we don't understand what they're saying, but you just enjoy the songs. But now that rap is taking over one way or the other, taking indigenous language and putting it up there, what are the prospects that indigenous rap can also rule the world just like regular music has done?
Yeah, as you said, for someone like Miriam Makeba, before she left South Africa, she had her own thing going on. And when she traveled to the US, they had to keep her there for like 10 years, you know, to disseminate that African vibe,
flavor.
You know what I mean? And if you look at the Lion Kings and, you know, songs like that, they had the fusion of those African stuff, you know, for the soundtrack. So yeah, the prospect of indigenous music right now, we say it's quite big. As I said, Olamide is buzzing right now, and the only way it could stay relevant was the use of the indigenous language.
And Fino too, they all seem to have come.
I would say you can't borrow what is not
yours.
Yours, you know what I mean? And this is what these guys are doing, and that's why they pretty much stand out. And
but it looks like this all really just started by accidents, you know, not really deliberate in terms of, look, this is the way that we can actually push this craft of ours by the use of indigenous language. So the question is, how sustainable is it? How long is this going to last? Or is this just a phase, you know, that's going to pass and then we're looking at the next...
I would say like the hip-hop music we have right now, they started early 90s. We're looking at the 96, 99, then it became quite big 2000 to 2008. Yeah, we had Rugged Man. Rugged Man was the pioneer of hip-hop music. But look at what is happening right now.
And Mode 9.
And Mode 9, the rest of them. But you can't take it off the people. They know what they want to listen to. You can't take it off the layman that they want to listen to what they understand.
Yeah.
Trust me. And if you look at the rates of literates and illiterates, to be sincere, in this part of the world, we know we have, no offense, you know, more illiterates. Yeah. Let me put it that way. So the only way you can relate to them, you can't go to, let me call Abule Egba and start rapping hip hop and telling them, you know, you came from the sky, you jumped up and stuff like that. They won't understand. So the only way you can relate to them is by going through tradition, and tradition still balls in, it's intertwined with indigenous music, you know what I mean, and the language. So I would say it's...
Now, but in this case that we're having more indigenous rap songs, is it a product of creativity, or is just a product of there's a vacuum amongst people who don't understand English, so let us try to, you know, reach them, exactly. Let's try to, you know, connect with them. What is it really?
For me, for your music to stay timeless, for it to stay relevant. If you look at the way people write their songs now, if you notice there's always that fusion. They always want to put in, you know, the old lyrics, the old stuff. And for your music to stay timeless, you need to make sure that people understand the music. And it has to be with language. It deals with the language.
So can we safely say then that Nigerian music is doing something that we've all been scared about or scared of? The extinction of the indigenous languages. I mean, when you go out, you hear some people say, look, my kids don't speak Yoruba or Igbo or even Hausa.
You have to teach them. You have to teach them.
So music is actually stepping into that gap.
Yes, it
and
is.
helping preserve our languages.
Yes,
is that what it is doing by default?
By default, that is what it's doing, I would say, because when you look at it, as I said, the Sunny days, you know, you can still always go back to the songs and listen to them because of the message they were passing across. The same as the song, the Ebenezer Obi. You can still always listen to the song and look at the message they passed across. And if you look at the song that stayed for a very long time, there were songs like No More Loss. You know, you had this Iyaomi. We had Timi Dakolo, you had Iyaomi. Timi is not even a Yoruba boy. I think it's from Bayelsa.
Yes.
And he had that song. And look at how big the song is. The same as Olamide. You know, Olamide had Shakiti Bobo. That song, it sold records. It sold more than 10 million copies for just that song. You know what I mean? So I would say it is quite important for you to, you know, make your kids still understand the language. It is super important because it is the only way they can understand what good music is all about, and also the indigenous language, I would say.
All right, now with this, how much fortune are they making with the indigenous rap comparative to the main Western infused or Western influenced English rap? I'm talking about Nigeria now.
Records should speak for itself. records in the sense that when you look at Ojuelegba sold, I think he made 72 million on Spotify.
Whoa.
That's
Wizkid's Ojuelegba.
Yes, Ojuelegba. And those were the songs that the guys, you know, from the other side listened to, and they were like, yo, this is banging. Look at Fela. Fela sold a lot of records, and it's still selling to date. So I think the numbers should speak for themselves. You know, if you look at Ligaro, we just had Ligaro. We just had the song, that was the song that broke out 2001 or 2. And that was a big song, that was super big. We had Nigerian as well, The album is still selling to date.
So what's the next level for rap and indigenous music? I know that there's been some kind of collabo with some foreign artists like Akon, you know, with Wizkid and all of that.
I think
is that the next level? Where is it going?
I think the vibe right now is, from the other side, they're accepting the Afrobeat feel. There's a wave now, like Afrobeat is the new trend, and that's why Wizkid is super, super big. I would say it's very important for them to come learn. You know, they're trying to learn now, because if you look at the Jay-Z's, the new album he brought out, he had to, you know, sample a little Afrobeat in some of the tracks. So I think it's high time they've come through to learn from.
So we are now the masters.
Yes, we are.
All right, let's bring in Foladile now to give us a perspective on social media, what people are, how they're reacting to this. Fola, good morning.
Mike.
Nice to see you.
Good morning, Papanazi.
Good morning,
okay,
Fola.
So let's take some tweets. Prince of Zamunde says, Olamide's Eniduro, the importance of this song to the streets and indigenous rap music in Nigeria cannot be overstated. White Star Tiraro says, Fino, you are the best indigenous rapper now in Nigeria. I can't wait to record a song with you. Yoruba Boy says, every rap song that has ever been a hit in Nigeria has a Nigerian indigenous feel to it, one way or the other. Oracle says that Green is like Tupac. They passed a long time ago, but their songs remain relevant, which is more than I can say for a lot of artists. And someone replied to that, saying, that guy paved the way for indigenous music, for indigenous rappers in Nigeria. RIP, still have his songs on my phone. King Nomso says, Zoro is one of the smoothest indigenous rappers Nigeria ever had. Rap with indigenous language is difficult, but to be very fast is genius. And It's Mide says, once the streets recognize your music in Nigeria, no one can stop your shine, I promise. Okay. Okay, Pepinazi. So someone there earlier said the key to making your rap song in Nigeria a hit is to have that indigenous feel to it. And I want to know how true you think that is when you think about your song with Olamide Illegal, when you think about MI's collaboration with Flavor, that African rapper #1 song. Yeah. So would you say that and then when you think about what Mode 9 does as well, which is strictly rap, you know, strictly that American hip-hop style, would you say that the key to a rap song blowing, like they say in Nigeria, is to have that indigenous tone to it?
To gain more audience, you know, to gain more audience, for you to gain more listeners, you need to have that feel of an indigenous language in your song. Trust me, it's very important.
Well, one of the tweets talked about, you know, the Green, who was it, being the best, you know, indigenous rapper.
That album still sells to date.
Fino,
Zoro,
like,
the Green.
you're on the street, you still see the CEO album, people still sell it.
Do you see competition going on among these indigenous rappers? Is it healthy competition?
It's healthy, trust me.
Okay, it's not going to be like
you mentioned Zoro.
The East Coast.
Zoro is buzzing right now. We had Kesh. And, you know, Kesh came all the way from YBNL, the same platform which Olamide, you know, started. And it's quite relevant. You know, we have a lot of guys who are doing great. Reminisce is quite big as well. So I feel the competition is quite odd.
Before I go, I would like you to do a bit of a freestyle. Mike, because are you ready to dance?
We were going to, but I know you want to enjoy that before you leave.
Yes, I want to enjoy that before I go. We don't want to leave that till the end.
No problem. Where are the instruments? I need to play something.
Okay, so will you do us a clean indigenous freestyle?
Breakfast friendly.
You know.
All right, that's right. Oh boy, Malokana. I want to gather, be happy. Dangbana, popular demand, be gala. The doubters.
Correct.
Oh my God. I hope you are not that all. I have a Bentley, I have a Jeep, I have some dollars I want to give. Why are you lying? We can't believe. I'm not feeling this placement, I want to leave. You are the actor, you are the boss. You say you love her, you can't propose.
No matter like someone say.
Wow, that's interesting.
But all the banner and the dollars and the Bentleys and all the rest of them, can we begin to move away from the materialistic, tendencies in our music? Because that seems to be all we're showing, really.
The content of
How does
that's
that
the
help?
recent single I just dropped, Jabo. And what I was trying to say is that people are, like in the industry we have right now, some people live the fake life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I was trying to say, you said you love her, you can't propose. You have a Bentley, you have a Jeep. Why are you lying? We can't believe. So it was a form of me telling you to fall off. Jabo means fall off.
Okay.
So
Be real, be original.
That's the idea.
That's a good one.
But even with the question Ngozi has asked about the kinds of lyrics that we have in our songs, I mean, when you think about your song, Illegal, versus, a conscious song, of course we would say that a not so conscious song did really well. I mean, so is it to say that, look, the conscious roots might not be the route to go?
That's what they regard to as the happy music. Happy music. It's very important for every artist to have an happy music. Like the likes of okay, I don't want to talk about this, but there was a buzzing debate between two artists about this kind of song they dropped in there. You regard this kind of music as a happy music. It's very important. It's just that way of making people feel good.
Music.
Just make them feel good, make them feel happy. Say jollof music. Say the things they want to hear. It's super important. Then there are also times where you need to have your classic. The songs that when they play them, it stays relevant. It's timeless.
Fela used his music to fight.
Yeah,
he
also felt good.
he had his own direction,
Fela
which was
the king
really,
of vulgar.
Yeah.
That's very true. There was feel good Fela, and then there was conscious Fela.
All right. Now, all right. So there was a question Ngozi was asking earlier on. In America, we had this East Coast, West Coast thing, B.I.G. and Tupac and all of that.
Yeah.
And right down here, we saw some beef between some competitors. I don't know. Are we going to be seeing that sometime?
It was healthy for me. It was. Okay. They were all making claims to what they felt was important.
But it's not going to degenerate into.
Of course not.
So we're not going to have like in Nigeria might be.
In Nigeria it will be worse. Now.
Abuja, Lagos, or island, mainland.
There was an island, mainland period. Don't come to the. Don't come to the mainland.
It won't work in this part of the world.
It won't work.
Okay. All right, Pepe Nazi, I guess this is where we have to drop it right now. But thank you very much for coming on the program. Fola.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
I'm feeling good all of a sudden.
Yeah, he just talked about feel good music.
Feel good music.
And
we're going to actually play something nice for you. It's a Friday after all. You can already see it behind there. Okay. It's already.
Yeah, exactly. Don't let me take you to the dance floor right now. All right, this is where we end it right now. Certainly, we'll leave you with this music and enjoy all of that. I am Mike Okwacha. Have a great weekend.
And I am Ngozi Ali. Enjoy your weekend. Let it be a rewarding one. And let the party continue. Pepe Nazi.
Thank you very much. Thank you.